Hello, everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to the next installment of the Dogs Podcast. You're here in Iowa at my childhood home, soaking up the thunderstorms that seem to continuously roll through.
Mhm. It's so nice. Every night there's been one the last couple nights.
Yeah,
I'm not from out here, and so thunderstorms are pretty rare in Oregon. It's nice.
especially these kinds,
Yeah.
where it's like a strobe light of lightning and earthquake of thunder
It's
continuously for
it's
hours.
really nice. There's actually been some this morning too, so they might come through as we're recording.
But we're here. We just finished up some travel. We went to Texas and then Massachusetts and are back here in the mix. About a month ago, we got sick and we're recovering, just resting up here. This is such a brilliant place to come and level set and get some deep rest, especially this particular town.
Yeah.
But we wanted to take the time to reflect on the last 8 years of workshops. This last workshop was our 50th, which seems like a lot, but it's also kind of not, considering that Buck consistently for many, many years did probably like 80 in 1 year. But we're not cut from the same cloth as he is. And that was his main gig. This teaching technically kind of isn't or has not been our main gig. But in any event, we just finished up our 50th and wanted to just go over reflections and observations and kind of how things have evolved, as well as just go into kind of the structure of the workshop, some details around that in case you're thinking about taking a workshop with us.
And just some stories and good times that we've had at workshops.
Yeah, because it's been 8 years, and each of those 8 years, for the most part, we've put like 25,000 miles on the truck traveling.
And teaching as we
So
travel.
yeah, it's been a lovely time. Definitely had some challenges here and there, especially traveling during the winter.
Which is primarily when we travel.
It's anyways, but to begin, let's go over the structure and what to kind of expect. So when we started taking workshop or giving workshops, we were still under our rock. And so we didn't really know what other trainers were doing, dog people were doing and offering in terms of workshops. We just went ahead and kind of duplicated the same framework and unfoldment that Buck has for his workshops, which is 3 hours a day over the course of 3 straight days. And that seemed pretty natural to us.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of work seemed pretty reasonable because we are consistently putting in at least 3 hours a day with our personal dogs or the pack
Mm-hmm.
or boarding dogs. And so it just was normal.
Mm-hmm.
It felt pretty standard. But turns out that was a little bit different because a lot of trainers would do 2 days, and maybe they would be all day situations, but they would be working with dogs not constantly. The participants wouldn't be constantly attached to dogs, and digesting information and then applying it.
Yeah, so in our workshops, we have, like, on average, 10 people in them, and everyone has a dog if they're participating, and they're standing and moving the whole time and working the whole time. So we might instruct or dive in with certain dogs at certain times, but everyone is still practicing, which is really uncommon.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, you can stand and listen, obviously,
Yeah, or
but
take
or take a
breaks or
break or whatnot, but it's very much hands-on
yeah,
and active.
and doing the practice.
Yeah, which is just not exactly, we haven't seen that necessarily in the dog industry in terms of workshops. And this was something that I think it's pretty common in life where you can't really please everybody.
Mhm.
Saying, because I'll talk about different concepts or we'll open it to questions. And so sometimes people are standing around and I'm discussing concepts or answering questions and whatnot. So can be some idle time. And some people will say, I think it was just actually one person in 8 years saying
Mhm.
that there was too much idle time. And then
Yeah.
like maybe three or four, I guess you could say. It's not a lot, but
Mhm.
said that it was too much and there wasn't enough idle time.
Mhm.
And so we just chalk that up as, again, that concept. You can't please everybody.
Mhm.
But generally speaking, I would say over the last 8 years, the workshops have been very, what's the word? Accepted or well received.
Mhm.
Well received.
Mhm.
Which is great because the more we learn about the dog industry and how different we are, that was nice to hear.
Yeah. It's nice that people resonate with a different structure of workshop
Hmm.
and a different way of working.
Yeah. And this isn't any offense to other dog training methodologies and whatnot, but for us, what we see is there's kind of working with dogs.
Mhm.
There's kind of working with dogs. But for us, the way we work with dogs, like it is, you're working your dog.
Mhm.
There's a lot of more work ethic
Mhm.
involved
Mhm.
rather than having a dog in a cage or a multitude of dogs in cages and then bringing one out and everyone observing and so on and so forth. Not to say that that's wrong, but it's just a different mode of functioning.
Mhm.
And for us, having worked with horses and dogs, there's just a different flavor to work. That word, work.
Yeah.
It hits a little differently.
Well, it's also like we've heard from people that have taken other workshops and they take ours where the dog is maybe gassed really early. And so
Mm-hmm.
people will be like, "Oh, I want to keep the dog fresh," or "Oh, this dog isn't showing me the thing here, and so I can't really help you because they're not showing the thing," or "Oh, they
Mm-hmm.
look like it's over, like that dog is fixed of the behavior."
Right.
And some people have come to us after and they're like, "I know there's more in there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know there's more in my dog that I want to help work through."
Yeah,
And
that's come out a lot over the years.
yeah, and for us, it's there's there's always gonna be something to work on in the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, because and Jonathan talks about this a lot, but because we're not using adrenaline or the senses or things like that, we can work with dogs a lot longer, for longer periods of time because they're not getting gassed, they're not losing interest, they're not
Mm-hmm.
exhausting themselves in certain ways, even though we're working for much longer with the dogs. The nature of our work allows for it to be continual like that. Like we'll run, foundations one in the morning, let's say, when we're traveling because we want to maximize our time. We'll run foundations one in the morning and then we'll run a level two in the afternoon or vice versa. And we've had people that have asked, that are returning practitioners or people practicing, and they'll say, "Can I do both with the dog?" And we're like, "Absolutely." And that's 9 hours.
Mhm.
of work, and Stitch is doing 9 hours, Six is doing 9 hours,
Yeah.
and the dog goes home, rests, wakes up, and then is ready to go in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're not learning either, doing nothing. They're working and growing the whole time. It's
Mhm.
just the place that we're bringing them to and the state of mind and being that we're cultivating is a place that is easier to stay in longer.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we stopped calling ourselves dog trainers, but rather dog handlers many years ago. And I feel like this kind of rings true because if somebody brings us a dog and let's say they do get tired or they don't want to do the work,
Mhm.
because some dogs will show up on day 2 or day 3 and they're like, oh, I know what's happening now.
Mhm.
I'm going to have to focus and my human's going to be asking me things for 3 straight hours. And they can protest a little bit and they get a little heavy and lackadaisical and stuff. And that's a place for us to help that person work.
Mhm.
So whatever the dog shows us, we are helping the dog and the human navigate those feelings,
Yeah. 'Cause
helping them handle that particular situation. And so it's not a situation where we're just looking to work on some isolated behavior.
right.
We're working with the dog as a whole
Yeah.
and whatever they show.
Yeah. Which could be the behavior, or like you're saying, it could be that they don't wanna do it anymore.
Yeah,
Or
it's kind of like whack-a-mole,
yeah.
they don't show the normal behavior. Usually we always get that
Yeah,
out because
totally.
when somebody shows up and they say, "Oh, my dog has this and this," and we don't see it on day 1 or 2, I will go poking and I'll bring that to the surface so that we can help the human learn how to handle and navigate those feelings in the dog.
But it's also that it's this holistic approach that you're mentioning where, okay, maybe a dog comes to the workshop with severe prey drive. And yeah, we can see the prey drive, but then we can also see how pushy they are
Mhm.
or how
Checked out
checked
they
out,
are.
yeah, how disconnected they are. And so instead of just working on prey drive, we're we're looking at all the other components because the dog being really disconnected, that's the prey drive.
Yep.
That's 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 a part of it. So if we work on bringing the dog to more connection and having them let just scanning the environment constantly, let that go, that's going to help immensely with
Yep.
the prey drive when that comes out.
Yep. And also the nature of our work is that we try to help people catch things a lot sooner in the energy and the thought behind the behaviors,
Yeah.
which is what we do and have done for years, and helping people develop their eye and more so their feeling of that.
Yeah.
Because that to us is the most important. You may have a reactive dog and they might not be reactive at a particular moment, but their body language isn't soft. Their ears are sharp, their eyes are sharp, their tail is up. And those are all kind of red flags and the building blocks for reactivity.
Mhm. It's also so I think we were talking about this in the episode before, but you start to work on, let's say that the dog has prey drive, but then you also notice that that they scan a lot. They scan the environment a lot. And so you work on the scanning. And you're not working on the thing the person really wants to work on, but then you start to ask the dog to let the scanning go, and they can't.
Hmm.
And it's day 2, and they've seen the dogs. They know everyone that's in the space. They know the environment. They don't need to see it anymore. They get it. Nothing's changing, and they can't let it go.
Yeah.
And then that's where we work. That's a
Yeah.
big deal for us.
Yeah. So let's maybe go back to just like the very beginning. So when people show up to the workshop, this is kind of what to expect. You'll show up, you'll park, you'll come into the workshop. most likely on your tool, whether that's a harness or a flat collar with your leash and so on and so forth. And
If the dog is too much, maybe they're really excited or they're just a lot to handle in a new environment, then people can leave the dogs in their car too and come
yeah,
and check in and
say hi to
get
Cole and
situated
myself.
and then get the dog out.
Yeah, sign the waiver and then proceed on. But we usually and typically work in a circular structure. So there'll be some round pen up or some round structure to keep the group kind of a little bit more cohesive. And you'll come in. I usually will demo the entirety of the Jentle Method. Sometimes I don't, but usually I'll demo the entirety of the Jentle Method with Six, and in the past Juno, and in the past Stitch.
Or boarding dogs too, sometimes.
Or a boarding dog
Yeah.
that's a pack member if we're in Oregon. And then we will pass a microphone around and have everyone introduce themselves and why they're here, why they're at the workshop, what they're looking to accomplish and gain, and then one thing they really appreciate about their dog. And
If
then,
people want.
yeah, sometimes if people are a little shy to be put on the spot, then we'll just skip them and continue.
Yeah.
And then usually I'll either talk about something that's kind of fresh in my mind, or I've noticed that when I go into a workshop, there's usually some themes that I begin to feel within the group,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll kind of touch on those over the 3 days at the beginning of the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's in-home stuff or just general kind of concepts or things that I see that people are missing, I'll generally try to help them connect the dots and fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll talk about that at the beginning and then answer questions that people have. And then we get to work and we'll go over the Jentle Method in sequence. So step 1, step 2, step 3, the advancements within them, step 4, step 5, if we get to that. And then that's over the first day 1, day 2, day 3, and it's all varying. Some days we go slower, some days we go a bit faster.
Yeah, it really depends on the group. Like,
Yeah.
we use the slip lead or a noseband. Ideally, we have dogs working with a noseband if they can. And some groups, no one's ever even heard of a noseband. And so we're going a little bit slower, potentially, because sometimes dogs are new to it and they just accept pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But then sometimes people show up and everyone's already on the noseband and the dogs are pretty acclimated to it. Or maybe they've even been practicing the Jentle Method. And so we can move farther. It just really depends on the
And
group.
then some workshops, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Where most of the dogs show up and they've never been on the noseband, and the dogs are coming in on harnesses and stuff. And so it's a much slower process to build into the higher steps, just because that basic concept is so foreign to both the human and the dog.
Or it's just the behaviors coming into the workshop are more severe. Not red zone. We don't have red zone dogs come to the workshop.
Well, we've had a couple.
We've had a couple.
They're usually they're people that we've worked with outside of the workshop.
Yeah.
And we allow them to come because we know that they already know what they're doing, and so on and so forth.
And they can handle the dog, so they're not going to lose control of them. And the venue is big enough where they can create enough space.
Yeah.
So if the dog is too intense, and it might not even feel intense to us, but maybe a person is feeling pretty anxious about being close to other dogs, we're like, yeah, go take some space. Like, we're on a speaker, you can hear us, have some distance. We did a workshop, and our host is an organization that has brought us to their area a couple of times now, and we really appreciate them. And they pretty much filled the workshop with their rescue dogs. So they had their more unadoptable pit bulls in the rescue with their volunteers, which was one of the coolest workshops just because of the nature of it and having volunteers for this organization come with these dogs that are more intense in their feeling.
Advanced.
And more advanced, yeah. And some of them are just meeting the dog for the first time. And so it's a workshop like that where we went really slow and we didn't get really far into the Jentle Method, into all these advancements, because the dogs are more advanced.
And the handlers were not.
Yeah. And or even just didn't have a relationship with the dogs. And so they didn't have that kind of foundation.
Yeah.
And so that changed the course of that workshop. So we follow the same structure in every one, but it's just going to depend on what the group needs.
Yeah, it's definitely an organic kind of process for sure. Each workshop, but as you just mentioned, there we follow the structure and its unfoldment, no matter what the group's energy is or their skill level is.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of the Jentle Method, which we'll get in a different podcast. But the unfoldment is always the same.
Yeah.
How quickly, it just depends on the group. But when you show up, we'll answer questions and whatnot. We'll get started. We'll transition you from your tool to the Jentle Method leash, which comes with the workshop, to participants. And we also allow people to audit or spectate.
Yeah.
And we encourage them to ask as many questions as they want. And as questions come up within the participants, or if things aren't clear, just ask Cole or myself. Cole's kind of floating around, helping, assisting people as they're moving, and I'm doing the same. But it's a very...
You're a little bit more anchored. Like Jonathan's mic'd up. He leads the group. He keeps the flow going. You're the one who's discussing topics and leading things, and then I'm floating around off a mic, helping more individually with maybe if a dog shows up and they need more support, I'll go over and help them while you're leading the group.
Yeah, but definitely over the years, we've noticed people write in talking about, oh, my dog is going to be pretty disruptive, and they feel like it's nice of them to mention that.
Yeah.
Maybe their dog's really reactive or
vocal,
barky, vocal, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We've dealt with that so much, and we encourage people to show up with that kind of behavior if that's what you're dealing with, so that we can help you.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not a situation where we've ever had to ask somebody to leave due to a particular dog's behavior.
Yeah.
That's the total opposite of what we would do. We would actually try to get you closer to the group.
Yeah. And help
safely and whatnot, of course, but to help with that particular feeling in the dog that you live with.
I feel like there can be it's like frowned upon to have your dog barking, or to have your dog lunging, or to have have them pulling you, or I feel there may be some universal embarrassment or shame, or I don't know, some kind of feeling that comes up when a dog is really expressive, disrupting the environment, even if you're on a walk or whatever.
We've had lots of dogs show up that have been kicked out of workshops.
Yeah.
And just the feeling that human has showing up is very timid, embarrassed, and so on and so forth, but we don't even bat an eye at it. I kind of my joke about that when a dog is really vocal at the beginning, if I'm working with 6 and I'm quiet and everyone's quiet, but there's 1 or 2 dogs just going at it, and I'm like, yeah, I hear you, I'll get to you. We'll help you out. But it's just a situation where we're so welcoming to people showing up with whatever they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Whatever they're dealing with. There's absolutely zero judgment. We're here to help. And
zero judgment. Like I don't know if we can say that enough.
And annoyance. Like I don't get annoyed by dogs.
No. Plus sound it doesn't dogs barking and whining, it doesn't bother. It bothers me in the sense of I wanna help you. Like, I wanna help you not have to express yourself in that way, but there's no bother to it
Well, it's one
because
of our biggest pet peeves,
yeah, but
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 it's not to the point of annoyance.
yeah, exactly, and it's like, to your point, oh, we'll get to you.
Yeah,
Like, you will have an avenue to put this energy very quickly. We are gonna
exactly.
give you a place to put this energy, don't worry.
We're
Yeah.
very patient with people and the dogs.
And we've had all the kinds of behaviors show up to the workshop.
Yeah,
Reactivity towards dogs, reactivity towards people, overexcitement, young puppies, really, really shut down dogs that can't move, like
yeah,
move.
literally dogs that will not move because they're so petrified
Yeah,
of life.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of just
Yeah,
experienced the whole gambit over the last 8 years. We had already kind of experienced the whole gambit before we began,
yeah,
and then we just kept seeing that stuff show up from time to time at different workshops. So it wasn't ever a situation where a dog showed up and we were taken off guard
mhm,
by a particular behavior. We always were patient and understanding, and always were like, we'll get to you.
yeah.
We'll help you out.
I think to your point as well that you mentioned just now about patience is that people are there to learn, and you and I think, do a really good job of remembering that people are there to learn. So they're
Hmm.
learning.
Hmm.
And especially if someone comes with a challenging dog for them, a dog that's maybe jumping all over them or like who knows what, but then they're also trying to deal with the dog in the environment. And they're also trying to learn a new technique from us and
Yeah.
receive all this information. There's so much patience on our side.
Hmm.
There's no rush in learning it. There's no rush in getting it right away, or maybe you didn't hear because you're so focused on what's going on in this certain way, and so you need us to repeat it a couple times. There's so much patience with that, with people, and
Hmm.
not feeling like I feel like one of the things that we're trying to do is allow people to not feel rushed
Or
or
pressured.
pressured in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if something's making you uncomfortable, talk to us about it, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna adjust what we're doing so that you can feel comfortable in what
Yeah.
you're doing. Or if you need us to say it 1,000 times, we'll say it 1,000 times
Yeah.
and have no impatience around it
Yeah.
because that's what you need, because that's what I needed. Like, you said
Right.
things to me thousands of times, and I got frustrated, and I this and I that, and so it's just remembering the learning process.
Yeah. And I feel that if somebody's thinking about coming to take the workshop, understanding that if, and this is just kind of a tip on learning, but if you come to a workshop to participate, or maybe you're auditing, and I'm working with somebody or Cole's working with somebody, observe other people and how they're handling, and see maybe if you could figure out what you would do differently in that particular situation with that particular dog. And that will help you stay active in your learning process. I know that when I would go to Buck's clinics, and maybe he would be talking about some concept or whatnot that I had quote unquote mastered, I would kind of tune that out for a minute and just observe somebody else, or observe all the other participants riding in the workshop, and just try to figure out if I could how I would do things better.
Yeah. I would say that would be more for an auditor, because if you're participating, you should be focused on your own dog.
But if they have a good dog, if somebody has like a decent dog who's pretty mellow, you could stay and you could keep busy. But if they're showing you good things, then you could stop, or maybe you want to take a break. You could stop and just observe other people. Because to me, I feel like there's not ever a moment at a buck clinic or in our workshops where there's not something that you can't learn.
I agree.
Whether you're working your dog personally or you take a moment to just pause or you're sitting in the crowd, you can always be learning something and observing something and having this self-reflection or internal kind of dialogue and conversation inside to learn. And with that dialogue could maybe come a question that comes up.
Right.
And so,
Yeah, even if you've come to a bunch of workshops,
yeah,
which we have a good group of people that have come to many, 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 many workshops. Sometimes they participate, sometimes they audit,
yeah, they've done level 1 like 5 times.
which is such a great people that come and take Foundations 1 with the same dog
Yeah.
multiple times, they understand something in the Jentle Method that is important. Because I feel like you can get a lot of work done on your own in the Jentle Method, and maybe if you have a really good dog, then, yeah, maybe switch dogs or audit or whatever, but there's so much nuance to the Jentle Method that when
Mhm.
people show up again with the same dog, I'm not ever like, "Oh god, what are they gonna learn anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, they'll get something out of this."
Yeah, there's always refinement, and that's kind of the nature of the workshop as well. As we start from like general concepts, but within the general concepts there's layers to those concepts. There's more and more refinement and more and more and more feeling that can be
Mhm.
developed. And so when we see somebody come back multiple times to level 1, we really enjoy that because it shows a lot about their character, but also it shows their humility and humbleness and their understanding that they could probably get better.
Yeah.
And it hasn't ever been a situation in both my personal experience going to Bucks clinics or in our workshops where I show up and I notice somebody at Buck's clinics where Buck is like, yeah, you're good. You can return this afternoon at level 2. It's like he can always help
Mhm.
refine some
Mhm.
horse person's handling.
Yeah.
And it's the same in our workshop.
It might also not be the person's handling, but it might be the execution, that the person's helping for the dog.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you have a really good handler, but there's something going on in the movement that the dog is having trouble with still.
Yeah.
And so then that's where a person can work.
Yeah.
We have a close friend, and she has taken the workshop. She's taken Foundations 1 multiple times. And one of the reasons why she says that she comes back to take it is because it gives her 9 hours of focused, concentrated time with the dog,
Hmm.
because she's got a lot going on, and she's got a lot of beings that she cares for, and she's like, "This is focused time where I can really move things forward with the dog."
Hmm.
Because people can there it takes a lot of not devotion, it takes a lot of dedication to
Carve out 9 hours.
well, to just to practice daily
Yeah.
or to practice weekly. Like, our
Yeah.
practice can fall off for people or, "Oh, I should do that, but, oh, I am so tired, I'm not going to, I'm gonna this and that."
Yeah.
Whereas when you show up for a workshop, you've set aside 9 hours.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend that whole 9 hours connected, feeling the dog.
Hmm.
That alone, to me, is worth it
Yeah.
to come.
So there's that returning people, but a lot of the people that come, it's their first time,
Yeah.
and what we've noticed over the years is, I guess it was kind of surprising. It was surprising in the fact of it just starting to teach a lot of people, it became very evident of how different our way of handling is.
Mhm.
And we kind of knew that we were different in so many ways. And we kind of had some idea that, yes, how we handle dogs is different. But it became very clear when we started working with people, dog trainers specifically, who have worked in the industry and worked with dogs professionally for decades.
Mhm.
And how when they came to our workshop, they literally looked like kind of a fish out of water.
Mhm.
And that was pretty eye-opening for me. I remember doing one workshop where the majority of the participants were high-level dog trainers,
Yeah.
and how challenging it was to convey some of these, what we thought were very basic concepts.
Mhm.
It just, I guess it just kind of highlighted the disparity of our work in regards to the vast majority of other dog handlers, in the sense that, yes, there was concepts like pressure and release and so on and so forth, but that concept to us felt so much different, felt so different to us and to them at the workshop, because that was very evident. But it was on such a different level. And just the idea of the intimacy of the Jentle Method and its nature, and how different that is as opposed to walking a dog on a loose lead.
Yeah.
Like that whole intimacy, that concept of feeling the dog pretty much constantly.
And being able to use pressure and being
Yes.
comfortable in pressure and knowing how to move through it and give appropriately. I feel like that really opened our eyes with how shy the industry is with pressure
Yes.
and
I
with
mean, they talk about thunder jackets, like that's a concept for people,
Mhm.
and we use that in workshops where it's like we're trying to help you understand this idea of using pressure on the leash and helping that elevate to the point of it feeling good to the dog,
Mhm.
just like a thunder jacket.
Mhm.
But they have this idea of a thunder jacket, and they're like, oh, well, the pressure helps comfort the dog.
Mhm.
But when it comes to leash pressure,
Mhm.
they haven't quite connected that dot yet.
Well, even we were doing a program recently, and there's a way that trainers can hold the leash like it's a teacup, is
Yes.
what you were talking about with this person, where it's this delicate thing where you almost, like, don't even wanna be touching it, is how it feels.
You don't even wanna use pressure.
Yeah, like, it's just you dance around the pressure, and you try not to have there be any pressure and this and that, and I remember you did this recently, but it's just been a theme over the years of, no, hold the leash.
Yes.
That's a powerful, strong dog you have. Hold the leash.
Yeah, it's very dangerous
Like,
in my eyes,
yeah,
especially just coming working with horses, 1,000-pound animal. You wanna hold on to the lead rope.
yeah.
And like you just said, some people show up with these other dog trainer concepts and ideas with very powerful reactive dogs, and they're barely holding on to the leash.
Which I know that it can be just from watching our side, watching those people take the workshop, it's gotta be so uncomfortable because so much of what we're saying is
Yes.
contradicting everything that they've been taught or have been teaching or
Yes.
have been it's been ingrained in them for years and years and years, and then we're there saying the complete opposite.
Yeah, and we, again, there's no judgment
No.
because we're just like, we appreciate people, whoever they are, coming to learn what it is that we do,
Yeah.
and we love sharing it, and there's no judgment because we just put ourselves in those that person's shoes and we're like, wow, that's got to be pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Hearing us say to do the complete opposite of what you've been doing or have been taught for years and years and years and years.
Yeah. That everyone is doing too.
That everyone's doing.
Yeah.
We're kind of the only ones over here being like, let's use pressure on the leash. Let's use it a lot.
Or let's use it in a different way. Let's get you comfortable
Yes.
actually communicating in this way.
Yeah.
Or just other concepts too. And I always appreciate when trainers do come because it does show a level of openness to wanting to learn and to maybe filling gaps or to there's just a level of openness that is nice to experience, especially with people that have been in the industry for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
We did have a workshop where we had 2 people that were flying in and they needed dogs provided for them. And we were driving to the venue, and one of the dogs was more advanced. And the person providing the dogs said, oh, let's give it to this trainer because they've been training for 10 years and this other person's hasn't been training that long. So let's give the harder dog to the trainer.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, we're not going to go up against you on this, like whatever you think is best. But on our side, the other person had already taken our workshop. And we were like, I would actually put that harder dog with the person that's taken the workshop.
But maybe doesn't have as much skill.
As much experience in the industry, but they've got more experience in our work.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the workshop, the person said, actually, it might have been better to flip it.
Yeah.
Because the trainer was
struggling
and wasn't able to do the normal thing.
Yeah.
And it all ended up working great. But that experience for us also came because we did the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that we had that experience, but then we, as you just said, we had that experience before. And so it wasn't, we weren't kind of caught off guard by that.
By giving a harder dog to a trainer.
Yes.
And being like, oh, they can handle it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we did one workshop where it was all very well seasoned and well-known dog trainers from all over. And I ignorantly went into it thinking that it would be easier for these people to pick up on these concepts and these ideas. And that was far from the truth. And that was really eye-opening for me because, number one, it taught me to not really ever project how smooth things are going to go or not smooth things are going to go, but just rather stay in my own court. Because here I was showing up and I didn't realize that certain concepts were going over people's heads. Number one, because maybe they were trainers, they didn't really feel comfortable asking questions because they didn't. But I mean, some of them did. But after the fact, it became more clear that they were struggling.
Yeah.
And they didn't ask questions, which was unfortunate because I would have much rather helped guide them in the moment as opposed to hearing about it after the fact. But that was really eye-opening for me in the sense of just how vastly different it is, our handling as opposed to how most people other handle their dogs and their feelings and train their dogs or whatever you want to call it. And so that workshop was pretty challenging, but extremely eye-opening in a good way.
Yeah, definitely.
In a good way. I would say that definitely over the years, that idea stuck with us because I just continued to go into workshops very neutral to how things were going to go, how things were going to be received or picked up. And I think maybe I was nervous at one workshop over the last 8 years.
Mm.
Slightly nervous. Slightly. And I think that it was that workshop because we were going into it and there were so many well-known dog trainers.
It was like we were showcasing our work
Yeah, for the
for
first
the
time,
first
more or
time in a
less.
bigger way because people had been kind of trickling in from the industry of like, who are these people? What are they doing? Clearly it's different and I'm curious.
Yeah.
But this was a very concentrated kind of prove it
Yeah.
kind of moment. And there was a lot of different energy there, some really beautifully supportive energy.
Yeah.
And then also some kind of,
They're just sizing us up.
yeah, sizing us up energy.
Yeah. So anyways, it was a really great eye-opening experience and just one that highlighted so many things. So,
But I think that also really helped. I mean, that was pretty early on too. To your point about not really judging anyone who comes in is, yeah, you might have 30 years of experience and it might be hard.
yeah.
This might be your first dog and you're walking it on a flexi leash on a harness and you might do beautiful work.
Yeah.
And who knows? Or you might come in with a chip on your shoulder and be a little standoffish, but then at the end you're just
Or confrontational.
or confrontational, and at the end you're super open to it and really enjoying your time. And so it's
Or come in very open and everything and leave more confrontational.
yeah. Yeah, I think that we've really honed our skill in that of, like you're saying, just showing up neutral.
Yeah.
And
maintaining that.
And giving as much as we can.
Yeah.
Which, to your point about asking questions, I think we do a really good job of checking in with people and going around and making sure that everyone's getting what they need, receiving what they want to receive, and is feeling good. With that, though, to your point with this one group, we cannot get inside of someone's mind. And so if there's something that's not feeling right, or if there's something that you keep hitting a wall with or that you're not understanding, we need to know that, because as much as we can look and deduce on our own and maybe get there with a lot of people without asking questions, we'd rather have you ask than, like you're saying, leave with an unanswered question. Because we can't. We're not gonna go into the other person's court and bring them over. We need there to be some coming together.
Yeah, that's a suggestion. If you do come to a workshop, is to ask questions. Even if you think you're doing it right, ask to see if you're doing it right.
Or if you think a question's stupid, it's not.
It's not.
Also,
yes.
I enjoy my role in it because you're mic'd up and it's a little bit more intimidating maybe to ask you a question, but then I'm around.
Yeah.
And I feel like people can
wave you down.
Yeah, and like talk to me on the side if there's a question that maybe they don't want the whole group to hear.
Right. Yep. Yeah, because I remember going to buck clinics initially, and I was a little nervous to ask a question. Now that's not the case, but I remember having that experience, and so I would ask a question to one of his hands. So it wasn't so out in the open, projected to everyone at the workshop, but more of an isolated one-on-one conversation, but I'm still gaining some clarity in it. But questions are so important. If you're doing something and it feels good, just ask to be like, does this look good? Am I doing this right? Or if it doesn't feel good, then definitely ask a question. But questions are so important. If you aren't asking questions over the 3 days, maybe that's not your personality, we suggest you stepping out of your personality if you come to the workshop, because you're there to learn. And if you stay quiet and if we don't pick up on something or who knows what, then you're not going to walk away with as much as you possibly could.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a very big suggestion is, number one, if there is idle time or you take a break, observe other people. There's always something to be learned in observation, watching other people, watching me work with Six and how he looks and how he moves, what I communicate for, how I move, how I look. You're trying to emulate me, or if Cole's working, Cole, but you're trying to emulate us in our execution
And
as best you can.
and there's
And then also look at the dog that we're working with, and you're trying to emulate that particular dog, depending.
yeah, there's a lot that I've had people come to me because I've had fosters attached to me, or like Stitch is pretty much retired. He's there, but he doesn't work, and he's been finished for a long time. But I've had dogs attached to me, and I'm not leading the workshop, and people will say, it's been really nice to watch you manage the dog.
Yes.
What you're bumping for, what you're allowing them to do and to not do, and when you're communicating, and how much awareness you have of them.
Yeah.
Something that comes up in workshops in this observant place, because I feel that people can observe and then see stuff. And then we've had people that have wanted to help the people in the workshop of, oh, your hand placement is off, or, oh, you could be doing this, or, oh, you could be doing that. And they're just auditors. They're just people watching. Maybe they've come and they've learned before, but we're really big advocates on not having that happen.
Yeah.
Because it's okay for us to have someone not executing it perfectly.
Yeah.
And fumbling their way through it, and not communicating properly, or losing their hand placement, or getting distracted, or missing something. And I think that in the past, auditors have felt like, oh, I can go and help, or, oh, I can help adjust this and that. And we don't allow that to happen at workshops.
Yeah. We prefer people to not jump in and help, but if they want to call our attention to somebody, then do that.
Yeah, call our attention to them.
But let us teach rather than have you teach.
And sometimes I've had people call me to dogs, and I'm like, let's just give them some time.
Yeah.
Let's just let them be in that for a minute and not have to get them out of it. Like, they need to be in this learning process and do it wrong for a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that can be really hard for people.
Especially if they're watching.
Yeah. People with more A-type personalities can have a hard time observing people struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And we don't. Because to us, that is the nature. That's going to be the nature of the work when they leave the workshop. They're going to hit certain points, and they're going to have to learn how to feel the struggle, feel the fumbling, and build a process internally of how to pull on the things that they have learned to navigate back to some more harmony.
Yeah.
And that's so critical. And so there's times at workshops where I will see somebody fumbling around, or you'll see somebody fumbling around, and we'll just allow that to continue.
Yeah.
Purposefully.
Yeah.
To see if they will make an adjustment on their own based on something we've mentioned. And if over a period of time they don't, then we'll interject and we'll be like, hey, maybe make this adjustment. But we're not trying to hold everyone up the entire time and hold everyone's hand, because that's not going to be the reality.
Yeah.
So we put some information in, and then we allow the people to kind of ruminate on that and try to observe their process of forgetting it
Mhm.
and then coming back to it, and then
Mhm.
forgetting it and coming back to it, and forgetting it and coming back to it, rather than just being a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll do that with some people for a period of time in the workshop, and then we'll leave them be and see if they can stand on their own 2 feet.
Yeah.
But that's a good point to bring up, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so number 1 is that reflection of and observation of people in the workshop, trying to emulate myself and Cole, looking at how 6 is moving, what we're communicating for, if Cole's got a dog attached to her or that, and then asking questions, stepping outside your comfort zone, asking me or asking Cole. And then number 3, just keeping to yourself and allowing people to go through the process of fumbling around.
Mhm.
Those are 3 kind of big points if you're coming to a workshop or thinking about whether you're going to participate in a workshop or audit a workshop, spectate a workshop.
Yeah. And we had a gal at the most recent workshop, and she was auditing. We've heard this over the years of how there's value in both. How there's a huge amount of value in hands-on work. This is manual, detailed,
Yeah.
feeling work that is, to me, best learned with hands-on experience, if you can. And then there's also a lot of value in coming and watching
Mm-hmm.
and seeing, like this gal was mentioning, how much you can learn from watching people's processes
Mm-hmm.
and watching people go through this learning process and what
Yeah.
behaviors and qualities the dogs have and the people have and how we're directing them and then how they take it, what they hold on to, what maybe gets forgotten and then
Yeah.
remembered. There's a lot that can be learned from both.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I went to Buck's clinics and observed for
Yeah.
years and garnered a lot
I mean, I would
from
still
just
go and
observing.
watch.
We still
Yeah.
go and watch. Yes,
Like,
yes,
that's just
absolutely.
forever. That would be fun.
Yeah. And just sitting in that energy, let alone being able to participate as well, but just sitting in that energy is really beneficial.
What is nice about that is that that's feedback that we receive from people as well, from our workshops, is how peaceful it is.
Mm.
I think a part of that is that most of our workshops are outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're outside, the weather's usually pretty good if we can time it properly. And I think that just 9 hours, 3 days in a row being outside is already nice.
Yeah, I mean, usually by day 3, it's a pretty coherent, cohesive, harmonious, peaceful existence that we're sitting in,
Yeah,
regardless of kind of what dogs are there.
yeah,
Because at that point, the humans have a better understanding, the dogs have a better understanding, and so there's a lot more silence and peace that's experienced.
yeah. Which we spend a lot of our time in Oregon, so we have a nice, really nice community in Oregon of people. And there's a group that come and they've taken the workshop, they take level 2 and they'll audit as well. And some of them are just like, I love to sit in this energy.
Mm.
Like, what a better way to spend my weekend than to sit in this energy and be around dogs and be refreshed in my practice and the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of it. And in Oregon, people who are auditing can bring their dog, and so their dog's there with them, and it's the energy of it, and then it's also something that we hear a lot from people who are practicing is the peace that they'll feel in themselves practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we mentioned it a little bit with Anne, but it can feel like a walking meditation for people.
Yeah.
Even when there are bigger feelings and expressions coming, the more practiced you get in it, the more it doesn't matter how intense the feeling is from the dog, there can be this peace within us that's felt in the movement.
Mm-hmm. And that's built into the practice, built into the work, intentionally and unintentionally. Yeah, I would say that that's one of the common themes that we've picked up on in the last 8 years is that idea of this practice just feeling peaceful
Yeah, feeling good.
and feeling good. Yes, it might take some time for that to come into experience depending on the person and what dog they're dealing with, feelings that they're dealing with. I think it's pretty safe to say that 80 or 90% of the people have that experience.
Mhm.
That's a good percentage to have, in my opinion.
That's a good feeling to have too.
Exactly. Good percentage to have us contributing in that way to
Mhm.
their relationships and their ability to experience that and then give that to a dog
Yeah.
that they're handling.
What's also nice is because we ask at the beginning their intentions, and we have people that come with many different intentions, some working on reactivity, some working on fear, prey drive, excitement, just raising a puppy, just everything. Something that also comes up a lot is people wanting more connection
Mm-hmm.
with the dog. And I love hearing that because this is like the perfect place to do that. Like that's part of the foundation of the work is
Mm-hmm.
that connection. It
That
just
is the foundation of the work. Yeah.
yeah, but it's cool when people it just feels like alignment. When people
Yeah.
show up and they're like, "Yeah, I wanna work on these things and I want more connection."
Yeah, I would say that the common theme is that more connection. Thankfully, we're drawing those kinds of people because there's so many other trainers out there who people can go to if they want to work on this behavior. We get those people and we
Mhm.
can help them,
We do
but
help them.
we're not trying to. Most of the people that are coming to workshops aren't coming to fix their dog in a weekend.
Yeah.
That's not what we do. We work at the pace of both the human and the dog. And I joke, but I say that this work is analog. It's not digital. It's manual work. It's manual labor and takes the development of work ethic both within the handler as well as the dog. But there's a lot of effort that is involved to get somewhere. I think that and feel that for some reason there's this idea of it's a pretty universal concept. If you don't do the work, then you're not going to get the results.
Mhm.
But for some reason, with this work, it forces you, it requires you to do the work.
Mhm.
It's almost like it commands you to do the work because there's no shortcuts in the Jentle Method.
Mhm.
There are no shortcuts. It's almost like this direct line to your dog's feeling. And there's no shortcuts around those feelings. It's direct. It's learning to directly handle those feelings and not divert the feelings this way or that way to other feelings. It's just what the dog gives you is what you work with.
Yeah.
And that can be extremely challenging for people. But that is definitely something that has been highlighted over the last 8 years is that there's just built into the work is this direct line to feeling.
Mhm. It feels very honest to me,
Mm-hmm.
where the dog's not hiding how they feel for some reason, and we're not avoiding
Yeah.
it. We're open for whatever they have to share,
Mm-hmm.
and we give people tools to sit there and navigate that and move through that with them, and that's okay.
Yeah.
that what the dog is expressing is okay,
Right.
and that it's necessary, and that's where we work. Like,
Right.
anytime a new behavior comes out in a dog that we're bringing along, we always enjoy it.
Yeah, we're
We
welcoming
love it.
of
We're like,
it.
"Oh,
Yeah.
great, you're showing us something new. Thank you for showing us this thing that exists inside of you."
Mhm.
Instead of, "Oh my god, now the dog's doing this, and, ugh, this thing is
Yeah, I mean,
popping out over here."
yeah, sometimes, like, on day 3, day 1 and 2, a dog won't show us stuff, but I'll know that stuff's in
Yeah,
there, and we'll get it out on day 3, and a lot of people would be discouraged by that, and we're welcoming of it.
yeah.
We're like, the wheels are falling off on day 3 because day 1 and 2, we didn't poke enough. We didn't ask enough of the dog.
Or the dog was just holding it together, hiding
Yeah,
whatever behavior's in there, and
but they
then
hit a certain
yeah,
threshold, because each day of the workshop, we give more, and it gets more challenging.
yeah,
And by day 2 and potentially day 3, depending on the workshop, that's when we kind of start searching
mhm,
and kind of quote unquote poking and prodding at the dog to elicit the strong feelings of reactivity or being shut down or the adolescence in the dog and whatnot, to bring those to the surface so that we can guide the human through navigating that particular feeling.
yeah.
Because they experience it with a squirrel, they experience it with the garbage truck noise or thunder or
Their food.
food or being touched or something of the sort. But we do a very good job at working with dogs in a way that we push the bounds.
Yeah,
And there is some flooding, quote unquote, involved in that. You could label it as that, but doing it in such a way that we always guide the human to and the dog to feeling better.
yeah.
And that's the key element.
I think we're also very the way that we quote unquote flood a dog, which I don't really think of it as that, but someone could think of it like that, is that we're so good at it that we're always going to leave it better. We're always flexible and adapting and changing, and so it's like the perfect environment
Yeah.
to do it in.
And obviously, that's going to be subjective because somebody, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
positive only is not going to flood dogs really at all.
Yeah,
And they look at us and they think we go overboard, and that's okay.
yeah,
There is this just element of finding stuff in the dog so that we can help bring it out,
mhm,
see their true colors, and then guide the human through their emotional response to those dogs' feelings and build in the skill and the self-reflection loops to help navigate that. That's so critical to the workshop.
I totally agree. I think that's such a valuable tool, and like we've been mentioning, we welcome it.
And we welcome it.
We welcome the dog. We're, "Please show us who you are," and then the human, "Please show us." Like, that's what we're here for, bring it on.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah, we're game.
yeah, we're
We're game. We're not like game to be bitten
No.
and like going overboard in that sense or putting the human or other dogs and stuff in danger, but we're game to push the bounds in a healthy, constructive way, which is what we do. We don't do things to such a degree that we're going to be going backwards with a dog.
Yeah.
And lots of people we're going to be pushing people's bounds as well. And we try to navigate that and make sure that the people are comfortable but we're always looking to do things in a healthy fashion. And then before we start doing things, we always ask for permission to make sure the person wants to continue to add more or if they don't and whatnot. But it's always There's always communication back and forth with the human to make sure that they're comfortable.
Yeah, it's we're there because we wanna help the dog and person learn and grow, and
But
then
at their
but
pace.
at their pace, whatever
Yeah.
the what, because some people are really game,
Yeah.
and they want more, 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 and we have to slow them down a little, and then other people, they may be more sensitive,
Mhm.
and so we're aware of that.
Yeah.
It's back to the point about how the workshop can feel like a meditation. At the end of day 2, people can start having that feeling of more peace in themselves. But then if you're in Oregon, Merlin comes out on day 3, and
Mhm.
he's our horse. He's John's horse. And that can bring about things in a dog. But that's life. Is we get to a really soft, and we find this place that we can come back to of feeling good and feeling connected, and then stuff happens. And we wanna work on helping people navigate that and knowing how to do that so that they can come back to that place that
Yeah,
feels
it's
good.
it's almost like the first day or 2, we helped give them the tools of what to do when the wheels fall off, and then we go and have the wheels fall off.
In a very controlled way, which life is not
Yeah.
controlled,
Yeah.
but we can control it
Yeah,
in
we
the workshops.
control and guide people to maybe create some space or go into this particular step at this particular moment, do this, do that as the wheels are falling off to help them navigate how to get back to more continuity and harmony. But one thing to expect is to find that peace and harmony and then for you to potentially lose it
Mhm.
and then help you find it again and then help you lose it again and find it again and lose it again. And that's what we're ebbing and flowing
Yeah.
between.
Because that's more of the reality of what people are gonna live in,
Yeah.
is if you have a dog that is really fearful of cars and you live in the city, the minute you walk outside, the wheels are gonna fall off.
Yeah.
And so how do you navigate that?
Yeah.
And that's part of what we're helping
Yeah.
people do. But speaking of the wheels falling off, we did a workshop, handful of years ago, and it was, I guess you could say, it was an example of the wheels falling off for us and things not being set up perfectly, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
and the way that we navigated it. And before we go into the story, it's funny because in the moment, it was very just what was happening in life. And you and I were just doing the normal thing. I think our energy was normal. We were clear, we were focused, we were giving. And then you look back on the situation and you're like, wow,
Full
that
on.
could have been really challenging, or that
Yeah.
was to a degree, but it wasn't also.
I remember that workshop and other ones just being in the moment and just fluidly moving with the changes.
Mhm.
And then afterward, looking back and being like, wow, actually, that was pretty chaotic. Or
Mhm.
maybe it wasn't, we weren't the ones to bring it up, but maybe it was our host and they were like, wow, that was really dynamic,
Right,
really chaotic, you could say.
right.
But the experience within us was very quiet.
Yeah. And I think
Uh,
uh, that's a testament to the work that we do
mhm.
with the dogs and that we do in ourself. Is things might be hard or might be challenging, or there might be a lot going on, like this workshop that had 13 reactive dogs in it, and you don't blink an eye.
Yeah. You just get the work done.
Yeah, you get the work done, you feel out where you need to be putting your attention more,
Hmm.
and then you just do the normal.
Rather than getting caught up in the chaos,
Yeah,
in the dynamism, just rather being somehow just get more and more grounded.
yeah.
But I remember that workshop because it was probably one of the most challenging ones because Juno had just passed away and you and I got sick,
Mhm.
and then we had to drive and get there. And when we got there, it was cold and rainy.
In a
And
warmer part of the country.
yeah, and Stitch got pneumonia.
Yeah, that was
So
Stitch got pneumonia the night before the workshop, and
yeah,
so the day before. So the day before the workshop, we're in emergency care in a state that I think I'd been to once before, trying to get him situated, and then with a dog with pneumonia, he couldn't be out,
yep,
so he was
around
stuck
the other
he was
dogs and
stuck in the
everything.
truck the whole time.
Yep, and so I had to use a
So so not
different dog for the demonstrations and everything, and I chose this dog from the host, and turns out this dog was extremely challenging.
very big separation anxiety.
Humongous separation anxiety, so that was challenging. And then I remember that one of the participants showed up with a dog that was just all over her,
Like, climbing
jumping
on
on her,
her,
climbing on her, pawing at
mouthing her.
her, and it was just that was a challenging thing. They ended up getting really far, doing really good work by the end of it, but the first 2 days was extremely challenging.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time working with her.
Yeah, and then not to mention that the neighbor didn't necessarily like the fact that we had a loudspeaker going, and so they were doing yard work with loud stuff as close as they could
Right.
be to the workshop, trying to disrupt us.
Uh,
And then I remember one workshop in the Pacific
well,
Northwest where it was raining the whole time. And
like, dumping raining for the whole 3 days.
yeah, and all those people just geared up, and we had a wonderful workshop.
Well, because
They didn't bat an eye at it.
we did this other workshop, and it was in a warmer climate, and it was
Mhm.
cold. It wasn't, full-blown parka puffers like you would have in Iowa in the winter,
Right.
but the people probably weren't as used to it, and so
Yep.
you could tell they were kinda struggling with the cold, but then
Yep.
we're up in the Pacific Northwest getting dumped on,
For 3 straight days,
and
and it's, like, hovering around 32.
people are just wearing their full rain gear, just ready to
Just
go.
just getting after it.
Yeah.
Uh,
That other workshop, though, was challenging because I think that was the only workshop we've done, besides the rescue program we just did, where we didn't have our dogs.
mhm.
And the rescue program, we didn't because we were in a shelter.
Yeah, so we didn't wanna bring Stitch or Six into the shelter and subject
Yeah.
them to all of the potential unvaccinated dogs and germs and
Yeah.
viruses and stuff,
But this
but yeah.
one, because Juno had just passed and then Stitch was sick, that's why you used this other dog because we
Yeah,
had no dog.
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty fly by the seat of our pants challenging. And I remember that workshop as well. I think the cold and the weather and just maybe the workload got to one participant in
Mhm.
particular, and they just walked out. They just dropped the lead on, took the leash off, tossed it on the ground, and then
In front of me,
left.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, they had a younger puppy-ish, and the
Hmm.
dog was kinda struggling with the noseband but not enough where we would
Yeah.
like, we were still coaching the person and they were moving forward. It was
Hmm.
just the person was having their own internal struggle with it. Yeah, and ended up
But
just walking out.
yeah, just peaced out. Didn't say anything. Didn't ask any questions. Just walked out. And we
Mhm.
reached out and ended up. They were fine. I think that it was the wife was supposed to take the workshop and didn't end up doing it, and
Mm.
the husband ended up filling in for her, and he wasn't prepared.
Mhm.
So it was just a lot for him. He wanted to learn,
Yeah.
and we ended up that Monday following before we left town going over to their house and working with them and just helping bring some clarity and whatnot. But that was definitely a different experience. Pretty
Yeah.
strange just having somebody walk out, but ended on a good note with them. But I guess that's one other thing to mention, that if somebody is going to take the workshop, make sure that the person taking it wants to take it.
Yeah.
Some people have signed up their spouses or their partners or whatnot, and it always ends up okay. But ideally, the person that's going to participate is familiar with the work and the workload.
Familiar with what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this work isn't the easiest work.
Yeah.
It's probably some of the more challenging concepts and whatnot to learn, because people who've been in the dog industry for decades or a decade working with dogs professionally have a hard time with it. But that shouldn't be like a put off, because to us, it's just, there is no shortcut. There's
Ultimately. Yeah.
yes. So this just kind of highlights that. And
We've had people sign up, many of their spouses or partners, or just the person gets sick and then the other partner fills in, and they've done really good work, and
Yeah.
they show up and they're committed and they're in it, and it ends up turning out really great.
Yeah. But it is a lot of work, and it requires a lot from the handler, and it requires a lot from the dog. We're asking the dog to change.
Yeah.
And as we all know, change can take a while and it can be challenging. And so that, coming into the workshop, knowing and kind of understanding that is really key. Because if you're somebody who's just wanting to change their dog and not having a self-reflection on how challenging change can be, you might want to go to some other trainer, because that's just not how we work. That's not how we view dogs. That's not how we view life and its unfoldment. There's a lot more feeling in terms of the dog and feeling in terms of the handler, and finding this middle ground of work between the two. And that's very critical and fundamental to how we work.
Yeah.
But I do remember at that Pacific Northwest workshop that again, the neighbor had a hard time with us, apparently, and called the cops on us for a noise complaint. And so we had to turn the speaker off. So,
and we ended up relocating on the third day, just like on the fly, finding a park or something we could rent, a gazebo. And so if you are on our website, if you're looking at the emails and you're like, why are they having us check this box, or why are they reminding us about this, or why do they do that? It's because of all these things that have happened in the past. And if someone brings something up, that's reasonable. We had someone suggest that we have 6 teachers for a 10-person workshop.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's pretty much a one-on-one at that point. So we might not take that advice.
Yeah, if you want that isolated of one-on-one time, this workshop is not for you.
Yeah. But we've had people that have, because we also give participants the book, which has the Jentle Method in it. And we used to give it on day 1. Yeah. And then people asked, oh, it would be nice to be able to read this before. And so now we mail it a month before. And so there's all these adjustments we've made for people over the years, or different things that we reiterate when you're signing up, because we want it to be really clear for people, and we want to give people time to read the book if that's how they learn, or we want to we're doing our best to have everyone's experience be.
Or send over the liability agreement and the agreement for the workshop beforehand, so that people could look it over. And then I guess in that, one thing we noticed over the years is that lots of dog trainers like to go to workshops to learn concepts and then immediately turn around and start teaching them.
Yeah.
That idea is fairly foreign to us, but apparently it's pretty common in the dog industry for dog trainers to go to a workshop and then immediately turn around and adapt or take portions of what they learned and kind of Frankenstein their approach to dog handling. And frankly, just do and be okay with C+ work. And that's fine. But we noticed that over the years. And so that dog trainers would come, they would take what it is that they learned over just 9 hours
Mm-hmm.
with one dog
Mm-hmm.
and then go and start teaching it. And that is not exactly how we prefer things to go. And so we made adjustments in that regard.
Yeah.
So if you're a dog trainer and you come to the workshop, what it is that we want to build a relationship with you. We want for you to build a relationship with us and the work and get really sound in the concepts and sound in the skill and the structure and the unfoldment and the sequence.
And working with multiple different dogs in the process, because one dog is going to show you one avenue, whereas another dog is going to show you something completely different.
Your timing is going to maybe be good with one particular behavior or one particular dog, but like completely off with another.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's general ideas and concepts and unfoldments, but there's nuance to it. There's much more nuance to this work than other dog training methods.
Yeah.
That's what makes it challenging. And it also deals with a lot more feeling than other dog training methods. And so I don't think that dog trainers understand that or understood that. And we kind of had to put some guidelines on.
Well, we always had guidelines.
We always had them, but we didn't realize we had to kind of enforce them, you
Yeah.
could say, until
We went
years.
into it all naive and like, oh, people are going to respect the knowledge and people are going to understand that they need to
that
really
it's hard
understand it. And
yeah, but that could have been farther from the truth. And so we had people coming, taking one workshop, and then taking one step and just applying that one step out of order, an advanced step, and asking. We saw like green dogs, challenging dogs, asking these challenging dogs to do advanced things without the prerequisites.
Yeah.
Which is not what we stand for. And so it is what it is. We learned and adapted, and we conveyed, I think, successfully that that's not what we stand for.
Yeah.
I think thankfully people are respecting that. The dog trainers are respecting that, our request, you could say, in that regard. And we thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was also something that was very eye-opening, was just this idea of minimal education before applying concepts.
Before trying to educate others.
Yeah. And dog trainers just seem to be okay with that.
Yeah. We also would hear about people applying this work out of order, improperly, etc., and then not having maybe the best result from a dog. And that really didn't sit well with us because that shouldn't have even been a situation to arise.
Yeah.
If it had been respected and practiced. If someone really understands this practice, that's never going to happen.
It should be pretty smooth.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right, the development of a dog should be pretty smooth.
Yeah. What's nice now is that I feel that the people that find us, they're more in alignment with with us.
Yes.
They share more values, they understand more of what they're getting themselves into, there's more
Mhm.
respect for the integrity of the knowledge,
Mhm.
and, I mean, anyone's welcome, but it's just nice to have people really devoted to the dog and really wanting to put in the effort to help them feel better.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's or for us, I think I can speak for us together as a whole, but just having more respect for the dog
Yeah.
and not just trying to make a buck or turn around, and there's just a lot more respect in general. And most importantly, I would say to the dog.
Yeah.
A lot more respect to the dog and their development, and understanding that change in behavior can take time, especially with challenging dogs.
Which is more alignment.
Yep.
That's how we feel, so that's aligned with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not okay with C plus work. We're not okay with C plus work. We want A plus work. We understand that it takes a lot more effort and grit and skill and development internally and externally to get to A plus work, but we do the work. There's no shortcuts, as we mentioned earlier.
What do
There
you
are none.
w
We've taken them in the past and it didn't feel good to us. Just as I'm sure C plus work doesn't feel good to the trainers that are okay with it internally, I know they don't feel good with their work entirely on some level,
Mhm.
because we've been there, we've applied those methodologies, and I know on some level they know that there's this feeling of not complete fullness. And they'll sit in that for as long as they want to, maybe years and years and years, and maybe they'll come out of it, maybe they won't, but there's no judgment in it. We definitely have put things in place and expressed our desire to have people really respect the dog
Yeah.
and go at their pace.
And, I think just to clarify, what you're meaning with not being okay with C plus is people who show up to learn, yeah, they're gonna be at C plus, they might be at a D, they might be at an F
Yeah.
skill. We're totally okay with that. Please, like, we welcome that, people being wherever. We don't expect people to be at A plus work. It's just that this work will get you to A plus
If you want
if you
it.
want it.
Yeah.
And the people that we want teaching it, we want them to be teaching it from a place of an A plus instead
Yes.
of from a place of understanding of a C.
Yes. Yeah, because 9 hours over one weekend, I mean, unless you're a complete genius in terms of skill and feeling, a savant,
Which might exist, but
you're not gonna be able to do it,
yeah.
let alone then go and apply it to a multitude of people and dog behaviors and so on
Immediately.
and so forth. That's what we mean by C plus.
Yeah.
That's just unrealistic.
Yeah.
But that's just the dog industry is just saturated with that.
And I wanna throw in, if anyone is listening and they felt like maybe they have done that with the Jentle Method in the past. Yeah, they are one of the people that came and they learned it, and then they started teaching it immediately, and maybe they or you listening want to change. Our door is always open.
Yeah.
We
There's
we
no
feel
judgment
we
towards
feel
you.
nothing bad about anyone who has done anything in the past at all. If someone maybe feels like they were at a different place of development and they are different now and they want to learn again or they wanna change the relationship they have with this work, our door is always open.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Always open.
always.
We don't take things personally.
Yeah.
Just like we don't with the dogs.
Uh, one thing I wanna mention is that you mentioned at the beginning that we travel to teach, and we've taught around the US and in Canada. And something that I really appreciate about that is the community that has grown out of that,
Mhm.
and to be able to visit different parts of the US and think, "Oh, we're gonna see so and so when we get there," or, "Oh, we."
Have some family,
Yeah,
quote, unquote, to be going to, because 'cause we're both very big on our families. We enjoy and love our families very much and get along with them, and so it just seems like we're growing our family, which is
yeah,
so delightful, and a big shout out to all of you. You know who you are.
yeah,
It's just such a delight to see your faces and be in your energy and just share energy with you
and
each
see the
year
dogs every year, and
and see the dogs and their development and your development and be in some beautiful locations. Most of our workshops are just in such delightful places.
yeah. We've been really fortunate with our hosts and
Yes.
with the energy, if it's on their land even,
Mhm.
the energy that they've cultivated on their land is so special,
Yeah.
and it's some really, I mean, I love the Oregon workshops, of course, because it's on the property and Merlin's there,
Yeah.
but then it's like that again and again when we're in Sonoma doing that, or Santa Clarita, or
Texas.
Texas, or
Yeah.
it's just
It's very special.
with the community growing, the experience of us traveling is that we had to not be with the pack for part of the year. And the pack in Oregon is they're like close family.
It's such a unique experience.
They're like, we're gone right now and we're about to get home, and it will be really nice to see them all. And there was a part of me when we stopped, when we chose to not spend as much time with them every year because we're gone for 6 months, that was sad
That was really
because
hard.
it was really hard because
Yeah.
they're family. And what is cool that has opened up since we've been traveling is that family feeling and that community within the pack, with the dogs and then also with the people, both of
Mhm.
them. That same feeling has grown in the Jentle Method community, like we're mentioning with people around the US.
Mhm.
And we didn't know that was gonna happen. And so to have part of our to not be able to see part of our family for the part of the year, but then have that time be filled with new family
Mhm.
is, it's just like expanding our heart
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah, it makes leaving the pack a lot easier
Yeah,
each year, knowing that what it is that we're sharing is resonating and growing. But yeah, that's always been pretty hard leaving, and just it's our pack and their humans are just different. They're a different species in terms of their understanding and support and acceptance and willingness and flexibility
yeah,
with us leaving for 5 to 6 months every year to travel and teach. Yeah,
yeah.
very special. Very special. So,
But it's nice that that is growing in another way.
yeah.
So I think we'll end with what we haven't mentioned, which is our level 2.
Yes.
So we have our Foundations 1, which is the workshop we've been talking about. It's the 3-day workshop. And then we have our level 2, or sessions, which is 1 day.
Mhm.
And that's for anyone who's
For
taken,
now.
for now, yeah.
1 day for now.
And that's anyone who's taken Foundations 1 can come.
Yeah, and those are extremely special because everyone knows the concepts. Everyone's been putting in the time, putting in the work. And so when we show up, we're able to work on much more nuanced things, advanced things, obscure things. And it's just it's very different than level one
Mhm.
in the sense that there's much more openness, you could say, or freedom to work on pretty much anything
Mhm.
because the concepts are there. So we can work on, I mean, this past workshop, this past level two, one of the participants who we worked with for years just had a baby. And so we were coaching them on pushing a baby carriage or whatever they're called.
I think that works. Stroller?
A stroller, there you go. Pushing one of those and then handling their dog in one hand
Yeah.
because they live in a city. And so kind of coaching them on navigate how we would navigate that particular situation. So we didn't have a stroller, but we just got a dolly
Yeah.
and had them push that around while coaching them in how to handle their dog in one hand
Yeah.
and when to focus on the dog and when to focus on the stroller
Yeah.
and just that whole awareness aspect and nuances in it and when we would allow the dog to drop back and just to enjoy and when we would get to work.
How to get the dog into certain movements with one
Yeah.
hand, with
Yeah.
limited space.
Yeah. Or different things would, like, I remember last year at that same workshop in Massachusetts, there was a barn cat that was just hanging out with us
Very cool
for
cat.
the entire level two. And he was just wandering around, triggering different dogs that had that reactivity. So we were able to help
Yeah.
the people with that.
Or we've had a gal that is a close friend of ours now. She had her husband or her partner come because their dog used to go for runs on a one wheel with the person, and
Mm-hmm.
so would get so
Jacked up.
jacked up when she'd see this one wheel. And so we had the partner just one wheeling around the property
Yeah.
while she was working with the dog on this trigger.
Yeah.
Or people that come because we usually finish level one, the foundations one, with step 5 or 6. Unless people are
Mm-hmm.
really in it and dialed in, then we might get a little farther. But we have people that come and then we'll go over we'll maybe refresh step 5, go over
Yeah.
step 6, 7, 8, 9, it goes up to 11. So we'll also work more on technique and building out technique
Yeah.
or
More intense triggering and poking.
yeah, like
Yeah.
nail clipping we've also gone over,
Bathing.
recall, we've done like
Recall.
long line recall stuff. I'd eventually like to start doing more social stuff, more off leash stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We've done that some in the past,
Yeah.
but I feel like we're just tapping the surface of things because there's this whole other realm of off leash that we can also get in. So it's just like the well of knowledge is
Yeah.
it's
Well, I think
whatever you
it's
want,
just kind of
whatever you want to take
it's
out.
funny because our level two it's funny. Our level two, I feel like, is where a lot of dog trainers just begin.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they begin. And we have a level one, which is the basics, the fundamental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to where the other dog trainers are working, just to give you an idea of kind of how different we are.
That's a good way of putting it.
So,
And we've had people that maybe have audited and they'll ask, "Oh, can I just come and take foundations too?" And I think we tried that once or twice,
mm-hmm.
but they're so out of sorts.
Yeah.
It's so awkward, and they're pretty much needing us to coach them in foundations 1.
Yeah.
unless we've had one gal, and she's pretty remarkable, and she did such good work on her own that she was able to jump in.
Mhm.
Really, really, really beautiful handler. But it's you need the foundation. You need foundations 1 to do level 2, obviously, you know?
Yep. What's also cool is some people will show up and they will have been in OTO for a period of time, and we've never met the person. They'll show up to level 1 and be doing really good
Yeah.
work, and we'll see it, and we'll be like, "What?
Why is this happening?
How are you doing that? Like, you look really good. You're doing things really well."
Mhm.
And then we come to find out they've been in OTO, they've read the book,
Yeah.
and they've been practicing leading up to the workshop.
Yeah.
Just because there's very unique concepts that will help you, that we go over, and some people garner and gain those through OTO. Some people are really good readers, and so they'll read the book and be able to apply it. Some people show up and they've read the book and they've been OTO and they're still kind of fumbling around, and that's okay.
Or
We'll just help you on your path wherever
someone
you're at.
yeah, or someone who's knows nothing about us and has
Yeah.
not read the book and has not seen anything, but has been recommended, and they show up, and that's also great.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are no prerequisites for
No,
Foundations 1.
no, definitely not. Well, I think that about covers everything ish.
Some of everything.
Some of everything, some of the parts and observations and whatnot that we've made over the last 8 years. But again, we just want to thank you all for, if you've participated or hosted us or audited, thank you all so much for your support and just sharing time with us. We know that time is a very big thing. We're not on this planet for very long. The dogs are definitely not on this planet for very long. And so we really appreciate sharing time in any capacity.
Yeah.
So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being at a workshop in the past or potentially being at a workshop in the future. And
If you listen to this and you have questions and you're interested in coming, just email us. We're
yeah,
here. We'd love to chat.
yeah. But thank you all.
Yeah.
And until next time, enjoy.
Thank you.